How are you feeling after beating every single opponent in Group D once?
I mean, I'm really happy that we're 3-0. I think we have played pretty good in every game. Made some silly mistakes in some of the games, but overall feeling that our play is pretty good.
Before we started the interview, you mentioned a little bit that you think you made a few mistakes in the early game. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
In this game against KT, we got caught a lot for not much reason. We got caught by them having wards behind us, and then there was double TP on us and run us with home guards, and we were not ready for this with having pressure on side lanes or something like this. So we gave up a lot of gold for no reason, and the Kog'Maw was 3-0 in the early game, which should be a doomed game for you. But once we started playing the strategy game and the minion game and push game, I think that we played pretty well.
And I noticed that you did improve a lot in terms of your side waves since I last saw you play. What did you change about, I guess, your approach to make sure that you can keep the minions pushed out all the time?
We changed that whenever someone leaves mid lane, you want to have someone else be there to at least clear the wave before it hits your towers. And we changed that you should always push the next wave before you rotate somewhere. Before we would kind of just leave a wave push towards us or something like this, and then they would have a slow push towards us while we were at Baron and with no TP, and then we were But we kind of fixed that our waves are better now because we clear mid wave more efficiently and faster, and then we have our silence set up before we make a play.
And there was a very impressive Baron call where you kind of snuck in and then Peke was pushing and used his ability to get into the pit. Who made that call, and how did you know that you could take that Baron?
I think that one minute before someone said that they were going to go on bot lane because they had a slow push there or a stacked wave. And then someone just asked, can we do Baron? And then everyone says what they have of items, how much damage they have. Peke said he had Lich Bane and a lot of Aegis and a large ward, I think. So he had a lot of damage for the Nash, and then I was like, okay, we can do it. And then we just went there, and then when the Baron's 8k or 7k, we look at the minimap and we decide, do we finish it or do we back out or do we fight? Or what is the call here? And yeah, that's how it goes down. I think it was amazing who asked, can we do Nash here?
How does it feel to, after your first split, have so much pressure on you for your team? You're pretty much the main carry, there's a lot of bot focus. How do you adjust to that, and is it a big deal for you?
I don't feel like there's pressure on me to perform. Maybe there's now because we're 3-0, so people think we're actually really good. Before, people didn't think that we would win or anything, so they didn't say Origen was going to beat good 3-0. So there was not any pressure for us to perform. But about the main carry thing, I don't think that I'm always the main carry. It's mainly when we play Juggernaut competition with Lulu or Kalista, for that matter. I can also play a supportive style for Soaz and Peke, which so this game I was only hitting mid minions anyway. So.
Well, for only playing a supportive style, you did make some pretty great plays on Sivir. In particular, there was one where you flashed forward and you managed to get a double kill. Do you remember that particular play?
Yeah, I do remember that play, but you can always be hitting minions and do nothing. Then a team fight occurs where no one's hitting you, and then you hit some guys. And I just do what's needed to do there. I don't make a fancy play. I just flashing there is really obvious. So I think this game was more won by our shot calling and our strategic plan. We had a plan before we went to this game that if we got this champions, we would do this. And we didn't even need that much shot calling for this to happen. Everyone knew what they were supposed to do once we started not dying everywhere to TPs and shit. Sorry.
No worries.
So yeah, I think that this game was mainly about our strategy and our jump selects.
I've noticed a lot in Champion Select, it seems that you focus on an approach of countering the enemy team rather than maybe denying a lot of the OP picks, which seems to be a big thing in this tournament right now because there are so many of them. Sort of what approach did you expect KT to have going into this game, and how did you work to counter it?
Well, KT so far likes having a mage like Asir mid lane and something like Kog'Maw. And then the rest are kind of playing a tank or somebody that has CC, crowd control for their carries. And then they just outrange you, sit you down, and yeah. They like Lulu comps as well. We didn't really, we banned the Lulu away, I think, didn't we? Yeah, we did. And we didn't want them to have this Lulu Kog'Maw composition, so we banned the way the Asir too, to prevent them having this Kog'Maw with a lot of peel, because it is really strong. And then we went for our own kind of comp. Kog'Maw is really weak without peel, so we went for a Sivir, TF, Fiora kind of champions that are really good at catching him. And then we just played the side lane game. like push every side lane, every mid wave, and you never lose anything for free if you don't get caught. So once we stopped dying everywhere, we actually got to hit towers a bit with Trash Lantern everywhere, and then we get good vision of having waves pushed.
Yeah, speaking of vision, there was a part towards the game where, KT had a lot of wards on the map. I don't know if you could tell, probably because you were getting picked off a little bit. But your vision was a little bit lacking. How do you realize in game that, they're winning through vision, and how do you just change what's happening at that point?
I think that after Mitya and I got double killed in bot lane, because we were waiting for a pink ward, which is pretty stupid, we realized that we should maybe just take a chill and think about how do we actually play this game. And then we said, okay, put Sivir mid and TF go side lane. And then we stopped dying, except for one death in top lane. I think Soaz died to a TP from them. But then we started having like every wave pushed, and there's no one to pick us off except for the TPs. So if everyone pushes wave at the same time without getting caught, then we actually can, get our own wards down. And then once we have the wards down, we can see everything that's going on. And then that's how we got Drakes. I think got second Drake, even though we were actually like combo was 2-0, and that should never happen. We got that Drake.
Well, you've gone 3-0 in this group, and like you said, now people actually are starting to think, they're good. Maybe they might even finish this group undefeated. First of all, how does that change, as you mentioned, the pressure on you and your approach to the game? And second of all, do you think you're going to go completely undefeated in group stage?
I don't think we will go undefeated. I think it's possible, but I never really expect to win or something like this. I just go in there and play the game and hope for the best. And I don't really feel like there's pressure on us, even though we're 3-0 or whatever someone says that this team is good and they should win this game. I don't really feel pressured either playing against a bad team or a good team. Yeah.
And as for, again, the big talk is that LGD lost 0-3. So far, they just lost to TSM. You played against them. What do you think might be their biggest flaw going into this tournament, and why might they be losing?
I think that in the game against us, they actually played pretty well. They had a not bad draft. We had our own draft that we followed good against theirs. But in that game, they played really good strategically. They had good, good plays, and Imp was missing a lot on the map. Just being MIA is a really huge pressure thing. And then they just had bad team fights. They just got one more combo, honestly. But in their second game and third game, they had a really terrible draft, full AD composition, and then team picks Malphite, and they just lose the game because of bad picks and bad play too. So yeah, I think LG is really disappointing in game 2 and 3. Their drafts are really subpar.
A lot of people are now comparing you to Fnatic. You went 5 games even with them in playoffs, and Fnatic lost last night. But you have gone undefeated. How do you feel about the difference between you and Fnatic? Do you feel like you've grown since the playoffs and perhaps surpassed them, or how do you feel about Fnatic coming up into group stage?
I think we definitely have improved a lot as a team, fixed some of our issues, and I think we have a good draft so far in every game. But about the Fnatic thing, I think that they just had one bad game yesterday where they kind of once the game went wrong, it kind of went really wrong for them. So I think they will make a lot of groups as first seed anyway, depending on their match they get today against C9. I think they will be the first seed, and second seed is going to be a hard match to decide, I think. I think C9 actually could make it.
Thank you very much. For my last question, I want to ask you, how amazing is Sivir as a champion?
Oh yeah, you're the Sivir lover, yeah. I don't like Sivir that much anymore, to be honest. Before I thought she was really OP because she's OP because of her kit. She has a attack speed steroid, movement speed steroid, spell shield. She has a attack reset animation. So, and then the ult was really OP before. But once they nerfed the ultimate, I feel like she's just not the same champ anymore. I prefer Kalista or Rain.
Well, it seems like you prefer Kalista for a very good reason. So thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.